What's up everyone, Dr. Tony Crone here, back for Wellness Wednesday number 20. So we had a request for hip flexor tightness, so that's what I'm going to cover today. But first, an announcement, tomorrow we're kicking off our food drive for the Well Outreach that's here in Spring Hill. We have an event page that we'll kind of share tomorrow and all the stuff that the Well is needing, and they also posted yesterday that they're needing some more stuff. So if you check out the Well Facebook page or our event, we have the list of things, and we have drop-offs here in our main lobby that you can come and bring stuff to us that you have picked up some extra stuff at the store, or if you don't feel like getting out of your car, give us a call and one of us will run out. Also, what we're doing is we're just going to have a little cash donation box, so if you don't have anything to donate but you're in for an appointment or want to swing in and drop some cash, at the end of the month we're going to go to the grocery store, pick up anything else that we may need or think they may need, and then take that over to the Well at the end of the month for all the citizens in the area that are needing their services. So if you're thinking about it or still on the fence, please consider donating to them. They're helping out a lot of people, especially during the holidays that are coming up. It's going to be great to help them. Okay, so now we're getting into hip flexor tightness. So just a little anatomy first. The hip flexor, one of the attachment points is in the TL junction, so that's just the junction from the thoracic or mid-back and the low back. Okay, so it attaches right here and goes into the front inside of the leg. Okay, so if you get some tightness in this front groin part of you, more than likely it's due to that hip flexor tightness. Okay, so well also people who tend to get this more are those who sit quite a bit. Okay, when we're sitting down, working at a desk, anything like that, that muscle becomes shortened. So when we go to stand up, if we're sitting for a long time, it feels like we're just getting a big stretch in there. Well, also another move that shortens is if we're in a lot of low back or that mid-TL junction extension, because that's also pulling our back into that extension since it attaches into the front of the spine. Okay, so if you have one end that's kind of more stable, it's going to pull the other end towards it, if that makes sense. So there's two different things if we're in this shortened hip position or if we're in this back extension. Okay, so in order to get a good stretch of that, we need to take those and lengthen them out. So for the hip, we're going to kind of go into this neutral to hip extended position, but we're not going to get a stretch if we're still extended in that back. Okay, so we need to maintain that neutral spine as we're going through the movements. And the last point I want to make, and that I've hit on several videos, is that you have to have really good core stability or belly breathing with that intra-abdominal pressure so that hip flexor has a pulley to work off of. Because if we don't have that pressure, that expansion of the abdomen all the way out, the hip flexor is just kind of free floating in the abdomen. So when we can press back into it, the hip flexor actually works off of that, and then we're able to get that true lengthening when we're stretching that muscle. Okay, so one really good exercise that I want you to do if you're noticing some hip flexor tightness, you're just going to stand up, which is good for you if you're sitting for a long time at the desk. Get up, move well, move often. So you're going to go into this lunge position. Okay, so a lot of you are going to want to extend in the back. Well, we want to tuck the pelvis backwards. Think of kind of like a grandpa butt here. So that flattens the low back to get a little bit more length on that insertion into the front of the spine there. And then as we're back in this extension, what's also happening is we're getting that good length based off of that pressure with the belly. Okay, so from here, if you need something beside you just to have some support so you don't fall, that's perfect. You're just gonna lunge forward, keeping that back neutral, and feel that good stretch in the front here, okay? And then back off. Only go to where you feel that kind of strain or that pulling there, and then back off. Don't overdo it, don't push past it. We're gonna do more dynamic movements with that good outward expansion to get the true lengthening. Okay, so if you're having some tightness in the hip flexors, try that stretch, and if you're not finding any more relief with that, what we can do in here is adjust that TL junction that I talked about, because with the adjustment what happens is it stimulates some muscle spindles, all these different mechanoreceptors to cause muscle relaxation. So that's another piece, but then we're also going to retrain how to stabilize the low back through our breath, and then retrain glute function to help that out as well. Okay, so try that stretch. If that doesn't help, come in, message me. We can get you in for an appointment and see what else will work for you. So thanks again for joining us for Wellness Wednesday at number 20. If anyone has any suggestions on where what you want to learn in the upcoming weeks, please message. I love that. Love that. It gives me some kind of topics to go off of. Otherwise, you get to learn what I want to talk about. Well, with that, have a great rest of your day. It's beautiful out here in Spring Hill. Get out, enjoy the weather, and we'll see you next week.